3, 2, 1.
今夜もミュージック君へのラッキー笑い合って抱き合って幸せにほらなれるように
Are you gonna start the fucking podcast
You make
or what?
it look easy. I'm
You
thinking
can
hard
start
right
it.
now.
You can
Cause I
start
know
it,
that you
Craftsdwarf.
want
There's
me
no reason
from
that
the
one has to be
inside
able to
out.
start the fucking
You got me
club.
speechless. Opening
There's
my
fucking
mouth.
three of
I
us.
was keeping
It's not
a
up
secret,
to just him.
but the
He's
word
the
got
president.
out. You're fast and you're slow. While you cold, then you're forward.
Okay, and you're like what, like the fucking secretary?
So your walls come down.
That could be a secretarial
yes,
job.
then you know, but I'm not letting go. I'll be your contradiction.
Okay. Hello and welcome to the Weeb Club podcast. This is
Why
Craftsdwarf.
would you kick me out, sir? I was
Shut
doing a
up!
funny
I didn't
intro.
ask you.
I'm your contradiction.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. That was what the what being what the what.
No,
this is
I was.
Vindy.
I'm not
I-
with the what. I'm your contradiction.
Shut the fuck up. Comments.
Oh my god, you're coming in with a fire.
So angry. What an angry man.
I mean, I know we're about to have another 2-hour episode because I'm gonna talk for 2 fucking hours about ReZero, but
Oh man, I love it. He's so quiet. Why
Okay.
are you not talking, dude? I can't take it. I can't fucking take it.
So, I'm gonna start with Syed Samir Craftsdwarf. Please put the right comment this time. He said, Vindy, in last week's episode of in the Oregairu section, you literally said that you prefer girls who would beat you up and insult you. Also, you're on the Weeb Club. That should be enough evidence that you're a masochist. No, because it's not okay. You don't want the girls to beat you up and insult you for like I don't get sexual satisfaction from that.
Hey, Craftsdwarf.
It's just actually satisfying.
Okay,
I can't
Craftsdwarf,
believe
right?
Vindy just
Like,
lied
there's
right
a
now. Do you
difference.
hear this? What?
No, there's a
Craftsdwarf, come here for a second.
difference.
Come here for a second.
Yeah.
Why is he denying his own feelings like this?
Yeah,
It's so
he just
weird.
lied like blatantly and obviously like right
It's
there.
so bad. It's so bad, right?
I have not lied. I'm truthing everywhere. Only any truers, because that's all I'm doing is
No.
truing.
I don't think you are.
I think I am.
No, you aren't really.
Okay, well, you know what? Fuck you.
You want to fuck me? It's kind of weird. So here's
So many
generic
comments
MC.
and I don't want to read any of them.
Shinji PFP
God,
is
why
back
are you
at-
so emo today?
Shinji PFP was like, how come I'm not the biggest Weeb Club fan when I'm the only one who comments first every single time? I mean, this is a very...
Man,
you know what?
you
Generic
know-
MC really does has like a Shinji PFP
No,
kind of
look,
vibe.
I found some things out about generic MC today when I was recording the Weeb Club 2.
Oh,
which,
yeah,
okay.
that's right. Craftsdwarf, come here. Can you believe this backstabber went and recorded on a different podcast? Or the
Yeah.
fucking BSA too?
What a rat.
No, I didn't do it to be a backstabber. I did it because I said, I think it was on the last episode, where I was like, I'd record a Weeb Club 2 episode. And then Dot DM'd me immediately when the episode went up. Funny how that is sometimes. And said, no, but for real, if you want to come on an episode, yeah, that'd be fun. So then I went on today, and I had to watch one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. By far
Okay, what did you
worse-
do after you watched the Weeb Club episode?
No. Look.
That was funny.
None of the
Craftsdwarf.
even things we've seen on the Weeb Club compared to
Paradise
the
PD.
fucking compared to Paradise PD. Holy
okay.
shit!
Well, it is Western television, so...
It is Family Guy, but even more unfunny.
No.
Wait,
Wait, just wondering, is the city paradise, like, what is that?
I
what-
watched episodes 7 through 10 of Paradise PD,
No, I'm just
so
wondering
I didn't get
where-
the.
Okay.
I didn't
Well,
get
because
the
I'm wondering if it was
idea.
set in Paradise, California, and it aged very badly.
No, it's from 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. What state does it take in?
I don't
Take
know.
place? Okay, gotcha.
I started watching for episode 7, and I'm mad that I had to watch 4 episodes of it. But look, here's the thing I can say about the Weeb Club 2. It is just the BSA. They didn't like when I said that to them. Because at one point they're like, they're like, Vindy's going to hate us. He's on this episode and we're being ridiculous. I'm like, look, I've dealt with this before. I know exactly what's going on right now. I was getting PTSD from the BSA. There was a point where they just, they bully generic MC so hard. Because he's 14, right? They muted him, server muted him the entirety of the Paradise PD episode because he was talking over everyone. So they just server muted him. It was wild. It was a wild time.
That literally just sounds like one of our old recording sessions.
No, it literally, look, and Daw was the only one who every time people were being ridiculous, he would say, like, you know, guys, let's talk about the episode. Let's get on track. Let's talk about the episode. And everyone else just wanted to bullshit. I think Megaraphics, I was there for like 2 hours recording. I think Megaraphics said like 3 words the whole time.
Well, you know.
It sure was something, though. You know, I'll give him that. It was something I
a lot of
haven't
episodes.
experienced something like that in a long time. It's been a hot minute.
It actually has factually been 2 years now.
Jesus. Well, if you were a BSA fan and you miss it, I'm actually like not even kidding when I say the Weeb Club 2 is the exact same thing.
It's literally the same thing. No, even from listening to it, it sounded like.
Well, you were talking about how we're getting like PTSD, like.
Recording.
Like sitting there recording it, it is the exact same thing as recording the BSA.
Okay, let me tell everybody what recording the BSA was fucking like. It wouldn't even be like we had a schedule. I think that's the one thing the Weeb Club 2 has over the BSA, is that they seem to have a schedule. Like someone on there in particular really cares about it to the point where they're putting like a lot of editing effort onto it. You know, someone. But anyway,
I have a feeling which person on there actually cares the most about it, but maybe
Yeah.
I can guess, yeah.
Yeah, but like it was the same thing with the BSA. Only like 3 of us actually cared at a certain point. And I think it was me, Flutter, kind of, and like who else was it? Because I remember
I cared. I
Why
wasn't
then it
on
was
every
you?
episode because I was busy. Because like a lot of times schedules didn't line up. But if I could be there, like I did care.
Yeah, and
Because I was the one who tried to revive it when we ended up making this show.
Yeah, and like Craftsdwarf only cared when we were going to do the BSA Weeb Club, which evolved into this show. You know, so like the BSA happened like this. One of us, usually me, would go, "Hey, when are we recording a new episode?" And because there's fucking 7 of us, we couldn't get our schedules to line up, and then people would be
And we
missing
would always have a guest.
every single time because we figured, oh, we have funny YouTubers as our guests. That means people will watch us. No, because it happened once with Mumkey, and it happened once with Seth the Programmer, so we thought it would work. It would work this time, but it fucking didn't and never did
Well, that
again.
was
Or we'd
the
have
gimmick
guests.
of the
Yeah.
gimmick. That was the gimmick from the beginning, but it only succeeded in 2 instances because those were instances in which the episode became talked about after the fact. Like Mumkey was literally paid to advertise the BSA, and of course with Seth it was the debate, and he was that all autistic
God, I
shit
miss
happened.
Stanford.
So.
Why won't he give us $100?
Right?
If you're
Why does
Stanford,
he
if you're
want to?
out there, the Patreon is $30 away from being giga chatted out. You know what to do.
But yeah, like, the BSA was a goddamn nightmare. We recorded using the bot that we stopped using, thank God. A couple
Craig.
episodes, Craig, the fucking robot.
They recorded using Craig.
Yeah.
I had to hear the robot watch over
No
me
recording.
again.
No recording.
That's what gave me the biggest PTSD, I think.
Because it's like Skynet's about to come in my house and shoot me. That's what it feels like, right?
It's what I wish my Alexa would tell me, which is that it's recording me at all times.
Recording your cock and dick and balls and nuts and peen and shaft when you're taking a shit. Yeah, like, it's just so
I'm sorry.
fucking stupid. That's what it was like, right? And then what? We would keep shifting members out based on like they didn't give a fuck, even though we allowed some members to stay on there, even though they didn't give a fuck. So
There was some, and like one of the things that gave me big PTSD from it was like, so like Kage Pro's mic started lagging out, so she started talking in chat, and people were reading her messages. I was like, I remember doing this with Meatman at least 5 times.
I was literally washing the dishes during one of the episodes of the BSA one time. And if you listen closely, you can literally hear the sound of the running water during the entire podcast. That's the level that the BSA was. And that's what the Weeb Club 2 sounds like they were doing. And you could tell that from their very first episode.
It literally started with Dot saying, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm going to record, like, I'm going to do the intro, right? We start recording, and he's like, hey, I know I'm about to get interrupted. 5 people start, like, screaming incoherently, interrupting him in the middle of his intro.
Do you remember that one time we were talking about Giguk and Anime Man's fucking scam, right?
Oh, yeah, when we did the, what the fuck was that thing called? The FCF or whatever?
Yeah, the FCF. And then 20 minutes into the episode, I came on and just sung while everyone else was still arguing.
That was a weird episode because we talked about a lot.
And like none of us were.
That was
like,
actually
fully
one of the
informed.
only ones that I remember. Actually, that might have been one of the earlier ones where I was actually a member. I think that was the first one I recorded as a member of the BSA. which is why I remember that one.
I remember that one because it was wild. Because like for once, like Flutter came in with all this like information, and he was like ready to fucking go. Like he had a fucking agenda. That episode.
No, and I remember because we talked about fucking like flat Earth and is Madoka deconstruction. Like it was a weird episode.
It was like actual discourse. It's like what it's like, geez, I don't want to remember those fucking days. Jesus Christ, because then like, and you know what else would happen? And I'm noticing it's the same thing happening with them. Is that like we would literally be like, as it was over, be like, okay, who's editing this? And then no one wanted to edit it, so it'd be tossed on the same 3 people. And you know what?
Well, they have an editor actually. Like Dot edits them all, the videos, and then like I think the way that they do it is Drock edits the audio, and then Dot edits the video. So they have like a designated like system for it, which is, I mean, that's better than the BSA ever had.
Yeah.
Well, the BSA also, nobody wanted to be on there by the time it was dead. So like.
Anyway, more comments, or
I don't think anybody wants to talk about.
Yeah, so I was just saying, poor generic MC, because he actually got bullied so hard. I felt so bad for her at one point.
He was a Shinji PFP. He deserves it. Okay, so there's one person on here, and I want to fucking roast.
Okay.
From Roleo Sports. I think you can use real martial arts, but you have to be respectful about it. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Pro wrestling. Why are they using stands? Wait, what are they talking about? I admit the anime skipped some shit from the comic. The comic. Which can cause confusion, but man, I had A's listening to your guys' arguments. Had to stop after that because yikes. Felt like I was on Screen Rant or something. I thought you were all trolling at first, too. Listen, idiot. If you think anything in God of High School's anime is like good at all, or like a good representation of the manhwa, by the way, not the comic, you fucking piece of white trash.
Oh my god.
Leave life.
You're so toxic all the time to everyone, dude.
Well, I mean, that's the only one I wanted to talk about. Other ones are the too long, aren't as funny as they are just like long. Oh no, wait. Never mind, there is one. WattheWut is overrated. Probably the worst AniTuber I sometimes watch. God. The presentation with the avatar and the same few versions is just extremely stale, and I'm not reading that whole thing.
Good.
Oh, is there anything on the
Okay, look, if you're the guy who if you're the man who commented that shit, that long-ass thing, just to tell what to make more Bleach videos because you're an 8D chess, you got him to tweet about you and how, like, terrible
really
you are, and then ask him to make more Bleach videos? God, you're such a Chad.
Look, here's what's sad. Is that comment is literally something I could see being 100% real.
I know,
and he probably knows
he
that.
actually 8D chessed you, and I love it.
And that's actually kind of fucking Kino. But like the funny part was he wrote that out exactly like a real comment on one of my videos would have been like, which is scary, kind of Terabad, but also Kino and Chadley.
There were a couple others I think I wanted to talk about. Oh well, someone asked us what we thought of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he's asking about the villains.
He's voiced by Chad God Kirito, so he's a 10 out of 10 villain.
I think he's a really good villain. I like the way that ReZero has handled its antagonist so far, where they have like the central idea that like Subaru and Amelia need to work through that like arc.
It's like, and he's kind of like set my standard going forward, where it's because like he's, he represents sloth, but he's not supposed to evoke. Well, it's like he says that he's above sloth, like he was like diligence or something like that, because he's supposed to challenge Amelia's sloth, but he also ends up challenging, like Subaru's working with Amelia, so like how the conflict turned out was, Subaru and Amelia avoided sloth and grew, but then he refused to change, like when the witch, like, or he saw her and was like, oh my god, you're the witch, and then she just kind of ignored him. He lost his shit and he didn't recover. And I had a comment pointing out how like he has an ability kind of like Subaru's in that he's able to like redo things, but he's not able to change at all. Or Subaru has grown from his powers, where he just sort of like lost his shit and just he molded, and then he's he was slothful in the end.
Betelgeuse is a Pokimane tier 3 sub who found out that Pokimane has a boyfriend and molded real hard.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to watch all the other Archbishops mauled real hard.
Well, it sounds like this current witch might be a Subaru tier 3 sub, which I'm kind of down for.
Nice. And honestly, I wish she was my tier 3 sub. What?
Okay, Ronin11111. I don't know why y'all don't like the comments, because this one is fucking hilarious. He says, I have a new theory on when and why your podcast evolve into autistically screaming at each other. It's not that all three of you together, it's when all three of you together, and there's a slight difference in opinion between
That's not
you
true.
three.
We could literally agree on something wholeheartedly and then still argue.
I have seen
that is true.
the three
But
of us
also-
agree and scream at each other about agreeing.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, like, the times when most civil are, like, Gurren Lagann or Chihaya Fu, where we all are in basic agreement, you know?
And we
Like,
still yelled at each
I
other.
think it's
not nearly
specifically-
as much compared to, like, you know, I'm just gonna say it, Review Starlight. We haven't even recorded it yet, but I fucking know.
Oh, I have nothing to say, so I don't think it'll be bad.
I can't
I
wait.
know, I know.
I can't.
Unless you cause things to be fucking. But like, well, I know why that episode's gonna evolve into autistic screeching. It's because Craftsdwarf and I are assholes, but that's besides the point.
Honestly, I'm so drained that if you start doing that, I'll probably just like faint and die.
No, you won't. Shut up.
No, it's too late now.
I
I actually kind of like the show now, so it's
So,
sort of
like-
unfortunate.
because I think it's interesting because like I think it's it also if we just don't like because like Ichigo 100% turned into autistic screeching, right?
Because all of us hated it. There was
Because
too
all of
much
us hated
rage.
it. So it's not just that we like if there's a slight difference. I think it's more like if our feelings for a show are so strong that it hides it makes our autism turn more towards being like autistically nerdy and dumb and like we're in English class about it as opposed to getting upset and wanting to kill ourselves.
Yeah, well, yeah, because like Ichigo 100%, yeah, we all didn't like it, but WattheWut has had some easy buttons to push. And so, like, because we didn't hate it as much as him, so it was just like, hey, Chinami, Satsuki best girl. And he'd just lose his shit, and it was fucking great.
Well, there's also the fact
Can't
that
believe Chinami and Dai Banana are the same.
It's also the fact that like
They're
I
both
mind
hot.
broke these two. Literally, if you listen to the episode again, it was so fun. I re-listened to it. When I told you guys what the
Yeah.
point of Ichigo 100% was, Vindy left the room and Craftsdwarf just died inside. Wanted to
No,
leave. It was-
my soul was just gradually leaving my body. Like, I remember, like, lying back in my chair and just going, like, yeah.
You did
like,
the Joe pose.
yeah, just the whoops, burnt white ashes.
Trying to see if there's anyone else.
Well, not on the seasonal.
Oh, I like this Lunar Jim comment. It says, I wish my objectively small brain could understand if you agree with me or
Kind
not.
of fucking Kino, actually, though.
I mean, I think, like, there's points we don't disagree with him, but also he's just, like, saying things the wrong way. Or, you know, if that... And there's parts where I definitely agree with him, because he also has another comment where it's like, I didn't mean to disrespect Taito Kubo, because I got a little heated there.
Titty Kubo, yeah.
Yeah, but,
Titty.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, because and my response is like even since like when Vinny brought up the Hobart comment, like I wasn't saying it too much seriously, so it's not like there's anything even to respond to. But he tried, and then we moved on him more, or we moved on him. Yeah.
Yeah, I just hate everyone, so I don't know, like, you know. However, real quick, there's one of the EWB that says equating narrative tension to power levels. Man, please say psych, and I don't know if that's meant for the video or you guys.
I mean, I think that, like, if he's saying that to us, he's misunderstanding the point, which is it's not about narrative tension goes up as power levels go up, but it's that if there isn't an equal match in power levels, there's a loss in narrative tension.
Especially in a series about literally growth.
Yeah.
But,
There's another comment that I already responded to that was calling me out, so fuck you. You know who you are. If I responded to your comment on the Weeb Club, you're
You can
not
go
doing
fuck
God's
yourself.
work. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think there's any more on the seasonal, so we can talk about Monster, right?
Yes.
The Monster episode came out, which is also one of the most chill we've ever been on an episode.
Because what was quiet most of the time.
Well, also just like we were just in general agreement. There was very little to
Yeah,
disagree
we liked
on.
it, right? Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
I mean, I had forgotten some things, but it's not like you guys like memed on me for it or misremembered. Like, but yeah, it was fine.
However, I have one thing. If Vindy leaves, how will we kidnap him, and force him to watch Forze? Which is a very good point. I've never considered that. We need him here so that he can fucking finish Kamen Rider Forze.
But
Piece of shit, motherfucker.
But the second I finish Forze, y'all are gonna kick me because there's no more point in me staying.
Well, then your next goal is to finish Kamen Rider Drive. It's just gonna keep happening. All right.
Do you really want the Toku I pick for the Weeb Club to be the first one you finish, Vindy?
When are you picking a toku for the Weeb Club?
And a
he's gonna
couple,
fucking.
like,
Are you gonna pick
yeah.
a bad one? Are you gonna pick a
Wait,
fucking
when
bad
did
one
we
I
to
don't
kill
switch
us?
to
know.
Toku?
No,
When are we?
it's Weeb Club. We
You're
can
such
watch
a
any
dumb
Weeb
bitch.
shit
You're
or
so
read it.
stupid.
I thought. Okay, wait, hold
Oh
on.
my
Y'all are
God.
hurting my brain.
Oh,
One
no.
second.
Like,
We gotta.
I already tossed
Oh
around the
my
idea of doing like a
God.
J drama or something.
Oh my
as long as it
God.
fits this. Like, it's hard to pick Toku because a lot of them are 50 episodes. But I'm thinking about Garo versus Road, which is only 12 episodes. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna make these two watch fucking Boys Over Flowers if this keeps fucking going
Okay.
like this.
Let's go. Let's
I'm
fucking
so
go.
mind broken. Hold on. You guys got to give me a second.
No,
I wasn't
it's
ready
not.
for this.
So,
Okay. I'm mentally prepared to keep talking.
So whatever Del Campo says. So what loves Anohana because he cried over it?
Matthias?
Listen
Matthias Del
here, you piece of shit.
Where's the
Don't
lie?
ever say that shit to me again in my life. Never say that shit to me, you
You soon
motherfucker.
toward Anohana.
Oh my!
Just say it all the time.
He loves Minma too much. He can't handle it.
He wants her to sit.
He
on
wants
his
to
lap.
run. He wants to run through the forest dressed as her. I can't wait to make fun of him over Die Banana.
Oh, he's gonna. Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it for the comments though.
Yeah, there weren't very many because it was like this that fucking Reddit post where it's like with us arguing versus us like talking relaxed. You know, like there's nothing to talk about because we were all relaxed. So
Oh, there's a lot on the Reddit though. Not a lot, but like some good content.
Yeah, I love the Craftsdwarf moment.
yeah, because I fucked up in the editing.
Everybody get a fucking.
Look,
aim
I
the
didn't
chat
even
for
know
Alzheimer's.
that you posted the wrong one
I know.
until I saw like 5 comments that were like, what happened at whatever timestamp. And I checked the Reddit and I was like, oh no, Craftsdwarf.
Well, because how I like named the comments is I put the name of the commenter and then something referring to that comment. So I guess I just mixed them up and because I knew it was about Saeed, but I just didn't. I just picked the wrong one because there was both of those were talked about at some point during the episode. So
Hey Vindy, how does Dot's video make you feel? Did
Look.
it define the genre?
Considering I gave the show the lowest score on that episode at a 1, or no, I think I gave it a 0, and I gave it the lowest score because most scores were in the negatives. I don't think it defined anything.
you mean the highest score?
Yeah, sorry, yes, the highest score.
Okay,
You
so
can't
you
speak
loved
today,
it.
can you?
No, I hated it. It was 0. I can't speak. What was the fucking thing I said earlier? I called it fucking Love Live Cinderella Girls. Do you expect me to fucking...
Yes.
I was... Dude, I had to record the Weeb Club too, okay? This is my 3rd podcast
Hey,
today
Craftsdwarf.
I've been recording, and I record
Craftsdwarf.
4 today. I'm not mentally
Wait,
here.
what do you mean 4? What do you mean? What other ones
Wait,
were
what
you
was
recording?
Yeah, did you record 2?
Oh,
Club 2
yeah, we
episodes?
recorded a Gravity Boys. And I had the most positive opinion on that one too.
That's
I gave it
funny.
a 4.
That's funny.
Well, I guess we're not reading a Gravity Boys for the Weeb Club anymore.
See, and it's funny because on the comparison part, they were like, the Weeb Club watches well-constructed things and shits on them, and then with Weeb Club 2, it's like they watch badly constructed things, so their complaints are justified. But then you give everything the highest score, so
Yeah, I literally gave it Gravity Boys a 4, and I was the highest score. It was insane.
all right. And there was another fan art of all
My
of us.
looter gem.
Dude, I love Komaida Wheelchair.
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice that the colors. That's perfect.
And I love that the Weeb Club has allowed me to say the phrase Komaida
See,
Wheelchair.
you said that earlier, and I didn't know what you were talking about because I didn't remember. I was thinking about the SpongeBob reference. And I wouldn't have thought about this. Like, so. Oh, my wheelchair. Okay.
Look at fucking Watsuko. Jesus Christ.
Her big fucking knockers. I like how buff I am. How fat my ass
All right,
is.
it's time for God of Bad Anime.
I gotta
Adaptions.
I'm caked up, bro.
I'm
Alright,
gonna
yeah.
fucking say some shit. Let's fucking go.
Play the OP.
I'll be your contradiction.
I don't know.
Goes really well with my overly long tirade part 1 though.
Oh boy, here we go. Can you calm down? I actually want to die. Like I'm not in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically.
Follow What the
I have a
What at
broken
twitch.tv.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is it actually like broken, like hospital?
Follow
Oh, like broken. But you don't
Jeez.
go to like the ER for a broken toe unless it's your
I've
big
never
toe.
broken a bone in my body, so.
Yeah,
Follow
you only
what
go to the
the-
hospital if it's like your big toe. But I think I need to go to a clinic tomorrow because my toenail is like 95% broken off. But
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can't
I've been there.
I
there,
can't
but-
pull it, so I think I have to go to like a clinic and get it
Yeah.
get it cut. So that's not gonna be fun.
All right,
Warn it-
so
yeah, that's yeah.
I gotta go tomorrow before work. I'm lucky.
all right, so God of High School is a goddamn travesty and a sin of creation. It is one of the worst adaptations I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad because it's ruining everything that is good. Craftsdwarf.
Me, Craftsdwarf.
Do you want to know how many? Okay, so the way it works on Webtoon, I guess, and I've been finding this out slowly, is that they call like what we would call volumes of a manga. They call them like chapters, and then they call like, or I guess like arcs they call chapters, and then chapters what we would call for manga we call like they call episodes, right?
Okay. This is not going to get confusing at all, but keep going.
You know, it's extremely confusing. I'm tired of talking about it right now. So, do you want to know how? Okay, I'm just gonna refer to the episodes as chapters now. Do you want to know how many chapters episode 1 of this fucking show adapted?
Okay, go.
Over a volume?
How many chapters to a volume?
Let me see. I'm gonna look for the exact number. I'm gonna find out exactly where episode. I think is it fucking
And that's weird because nothing fucking happened in the first episode.
I know, right?
episode.
I don't know why I
think-
said that so loudly.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I am right. It's fucking no. Okay, so it is a little over a volume. It's like 8 chapters.
Jesus Christ.
And then episode 2, like so by episode 2, at least 18 chapters were covered.
God.
And you want to know
Jesus.
what's funny? You want to know why nothing was happening in those episodes we've been watching? It's because they're cutting out everything except for the fighting.
Okay.
And even the fighting they're ruining. So, I've linked this a bunch of times. It's one of the
Quick, for the listeners, because some of them have read God of High School. How far in the webtoon are you?
I'm like 40. I'm like into chapter 2. So like I'm 43 episodes in as of now. But I've been reading progressively. The only reason I stopped reading was because I had to fucking rewatch Review Starlight.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna kill myself.
how many or do you know how many episodes there are in the thing as a total right now? Like, are you halfway there? A third of the way there? Like,
If episode 6 covers the end of chapter 1, this is going to be a fucking nightmare.
I'm asking how far is the webtoon? Like, how much of the webtoon have you read?
No, don't you mean how many chapters of the webtoon? He just answered how many chapters.
It's four. I
he
said
read.
43.
How many chapters does
Relative
it
to
have?
how many there are.
Yeah,
Oh.
so how many chapters are there?
I said 43. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry.
No,
there's
so
over
you're caught
400.
up.
Oh, okay, 400. No, so there's over.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So what's a tenth of the way through?
Okay,
is
but
what
that
you
was.
were looking for.
I got it done. Like I got it done really fast though, because it's a
Todd's
really quick.
like 600 episodes or 500 episodes, I think, maybe
Yeah.
close to 6.
Okay.
It's like it's not that
Well,
bad
they're
to read.
probably
It's actually
well, yeah,
super-
because if one page, like I know, like one page is like a single screen on like a phone, so it's not going to be like and that's like maybe half a manga page, if not just like a single panel. So.
reading it's been really
Yeah, but they
actually
also all
gratifying.
are.
Actually,
They're
though.
also all color.
Yeah.
They're a lot different.
I've
from
seen
manga,
what they
it's
look like.
interesting.
Yeah.
Reading it's been really fucking gratifying though. Actually, like it's a really fun like thing to just read through it.
It sounds like it's the exact thing you wanted the anime to be.
It's everything I wanted the anime to be. From like, okay, I'm gonna post. That's what I want to do. I wanted to post one of the fucking coolest things I've ever seen. Right? It's the fucking triple kick. Do you remember that the triple kick? And I know I've been spamming this shit because it makes me irrationally angry. Do you remember the triple kick? The way it looked in the fucking anime.
Wasn't he just like flying around doing crazy?
He was just
shit?
spinning in the air, and I was complaining that like, what the fuck do you mean fucking shitty taekwondo or whatever, right? That's not taekwondo. You're just spinning in the air. Look at how the same thing looks in the manhwa.
Right, it looks like a triple kick. Like there's 3
It
kicks
looks
there.
so fucking cool, and it's like, cause like literally every time he does this, they do this same thing but from a different angle, right?
Oh, but from like a different angle, so you see like a different side of it.
Yeah, so like
that's cool.
It's so cool. It's the coolest shit I've ever seen, and they ruin it
I
every
wish you had a
single time.
screenshot of another angle now, so I could see like.
Yeah, I've only seen this one like 50 times, so.
So let me break down what happens compared, because I'm gonna do this for you. So episode one of God of High School skips over the backstory, like the introductions for all three main characters, because the way they do it in the manhwa is they introduce it almost like Soul Leader style, right? Where we get like the three main leads introduced one by one. So you see Jin Mori, he's like a Luffy type character, right? That's the kind of character they introduced him as. He just like
you can just call him a retard.
No, because he's like the entire time he's
well,
like.
I assume the manhwa gives more things to endear him on instead of the anime just having him this giant fucking obnoxious cuck who I kind of want to die.
He starts off just beating the shit out of people, and it like so you get a context as to why he's so strong. You see him beating the shit out of people, and then you see him fight the blonde dude instead of him going like, "I want to fight the blonde dude," and all you see is like a flashback because it's way more intense in the manhwa when you see the way it happens. And then Dawi Han, however the hell you pronounce his name, the karate dude, you get to see his.
Han or whatever.
He's like way more chill and way more cool and likable in like the manhwa too, and you get to see his backstory and really get to be like relatable with him and his friends like relationship, right? And then you get to see Mira Yun, like Mira Yu, and she's like really good because her entire thing in the manhwa is that like they don't bring up the whole wow she's a pretty thing. I don't think that's ever mentioned once, right? Instead, the whole meme is that like she looks kind and nice, but she's actually like a fucking terrible gorilla monster who's like evil and everybody's scared of her.
So like what happened in like one of the most recent episodes where June called her a gorilla, and I felt like it was kind of coming.
No, but it was like okay, I'm gonna go into a chapter because it's like the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I legitimately made me fucking lose it because like the way they introduce her, right? Is she's just like emasculating men constantly. So like it introduces her where she's like dating dudes. And it's like making fun of like shoujo tropes. It's like, or like romance tropes. It's like, wow, look at this, is gonna be cheesy. And then so like her boyfriend, who's supposed to like this delinquent, is like defending her. And then she sees them and she's like, why the fuck are you losing to like 5 dudes? This should be like easy as shit. And she just beats the shit out of all of them. She has like this terrible evil monster. Like it's hold on, I'm getting it. Look at this fucking face she has on. This is the moment where you find out that she's like a crazy evil gorilla person, and every time it happens,
I love
it's like
that she's actually cute as well.
Like, look at that, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you've posted art style and like the redness of the nose and it's not quite as pronounced, and the ears don't look disgusting.
No, she's cute.
It's like amateur. It's like, it's amateur because all these fucking webtoon artists are amateurs, but it evolves after a while.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll continue to get better throughout because that's one of the things that's satisfying about Tower of God as well is how much better Sue gets at drawing as it goes. I'm sure will be the same thing.
But this is the 3rd chapter, and look how like well detailed it is too for someone who's like an amateur artist, right? That's insane, right? And the fucking face she has on, that's literally the face she has every time she goes into gorilla mode. Like when a fucking when Jin like steals her sword, right, and she's finally fed up with it, she makes that same fucking face when she snaps his neck, and it's like instead of just being like her behind him, it's like that big manly face, and it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. So like it's a lot of that. There's a lot of characterization. Like there's the baseball bat dude.
Sure.
He gets an entire chapter dedicated to why he's like that, because his whole deal isn't that just I'm a smart boy, I read the book and I beat you up with the book knowledge. It's literally like he was proud of like his dad, who was like a detective and beat people up with a bat, because that was his whole thing. He found criminals, beat them up with a bat. But then his dad fucking got nothing he did worked. So then he just decided, oh, well then I guess the only path to that is knowledge, right? But then he realized that these kids at school were being bullied, and his just doing things the normal way of like, smartly going about it wouldn't fix it. So he's like, so it's not brains either that solves the problem. It has to be both. So then he trains and finds out all of the ways in order to like use both his brains and his brawn to beat people. So it's way more than just I beat you with bat and stab you a bunch of times. It's like, this is the fundamentals of my ideal, that this is what I figured out, right? And then he realizes that he's wrong, right? That there's more to fighting than just, he didn't realize that what is his dad really liked about fighting people and being a detective, right? And he's like, oh, that's why he did it. So it's this whole backstory. It's this whole cool thing. And then he becomes important later on. And if he shows up in the next episode, that'll be cool. But I wouldn't be surprised if Shitty Mappa like decided to not put him in that next episode because they fucking hate everybody and they hate fun. But like the God of High School is like very like comedic and like endears you to the characters really easily because it gives you like a lot of moments where it's like it cuts out, it points out the ridiculousness of some things, but then still goes with it anyway because it acknowledges that how ridiculous it is. You know the stand?
Yeah.
That's not there at all in the manhwa, at least in this part.
Neither is the spooky black magic, right?
No. You want to know how the fight with the evil North Korean Taekwondo guy happens? How? Magic JoJo waves don't show up. He just gets up and then keeps fighting. And then they fight like like a normal fight, which is like, you know, with super strength or whatever, right? That's the only difference.
People
wouldn't, and you did specify at this point because some people on my server were saying how like later on, like I mean, we even saw in the beginning when he high-fived the island, like it's gonna get actual superpowers later.
But it's shown to be like a slow progression. It's not like I'm seeing JoJo stands from chapter 1. Like they showed that there's other characters that do have those powers, but they're like higher up and meant to be more powerful. Like the guy with the glasses, he has like the guy who has like a JoJo stand. You see him. There's literally a chapter early on where it shows 2 of the commissioners fighting, and you see the hints of the magical powers that are going to show up later. But our main characters don't have that yet because they're not there at that level of power yet, right? So there's that slow progression, but they're just taking that out because fuck, why not, right?
People wouldn't watch a fighting anime if they didn't have magical powers.
Oh, you're
People
right.
only want to see people fight with magic and cool powers. They don't want to watch just cool martial arts. Who would ever watch something like that? That would never be popular.
And you know what's the biggest sin of all? Is that the wedding episode, this one, episode 4, is actually Omega Kino in the manhwa.
Is it the really good friendship moment you were talking about when you were first reading
It is a really good friendship moment, but it's not the really good friendship moment.
Okay.
Because the really good friendship moment is what I think they're going to ruin in episode, like, 6. But, so...
Well, I want to talk about it because, like, I told you it made me laugh, and I said, it's probably executed, because I watched this before you. I told you, like, it was probably executed well enough in the manhwa, but it made me laugh. Because, like, yeah, you get this whole episode building up Mira, and here's a bunch of context for her, and here's our arc, and then she just gets beat shit beat out of her. And I thought that was funny, because it's like, well, I don't care, so whatever.
Yeah.
Once again, Craft's favorite part in the webtoon series is a woman getting beat up by a guy.
It's so, like, I'm mad. Like, I'm fucking seething. I'm so mad about how they're handling this. Because, so, you know her whole deal, right, is that she wants to find a successor for the Moonlight sword style, right? That's her whole deal. Everything about her sword fighting style is meant simply obligation. And a similar thing is happening with Dawi Han, is that his entire fighting style is obligation to save his friend, right? And do you notice that the only one who enjoys fighting is the strongest one? Oh my god.
It's Dragon Ball?
Whoa, it's kind of crazy, right? So then her whole thing is that she's trying to find a strong successor because, like, she needs to save her father's school that I don't know what the fuck was happening where they were trying to, like, show, like, her uncle was, like, trying to take over the school and that he was weak or something. Because like, there's this really sweet thing that happens in the manhwa where it's, like, she didn't want to, like, have him show up to her, like, her sports festival event because she didn't want to put a burden on him or something like that. But then he shows up anyway because he's her uncle and he loves her. And that's, like, a whole thread, right? Because, you know, her little sister or whoever, like, I think it's... No, it's her cousin. Her cousin who's, like... In the original manhwa, the first thing we ever see from her is that, like, she's complaining about the fact that she's getting hand-me-downs. And that from Mira, even though Mira's the one who moved in with them, right? And then Mira feels bad about it. And that's why she takes the fucking marriage. Because she's like, first of all, I need to succeed the Moonlight style. But also, my family fucking needs money. So it's this whole thing where it's like, she has an out that she wants, like, oh, I can leave the God of High School tournament because I have something else that I need. In the manhwa, that's how it's executed. The only thing we see of the little cousin in this episode is just her saying what color is going to be your wedding dress.
Sad.
And there's, like, this whole thing where that little cousin has this entire character arc where she's like being bitchy towards Mira until she realizes that, like, the whole wedding's a sham, and she's like, no, please, I want, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this for us, right? because you have to, if you want to marry someone, you should do it for yourself. And that's what Jin says to her in this episode. With this, okay.
See, I was about to say it sounded familiar, but I was like, wait, hold on.
Let me just recap. Do you remember when Jin tried to crash the wedding? What happened to him exactly in that episode? Because I remember watching and just wanting to rip my eyeballs out. But what happened?
I don't fucking remember.
Like, he just walked up. Like, I don't think he got hit once, right?
Maybe not. I don't know. You probably remember it better if you were malding over it.
Look at this. Look at how fucking keto this is. So he walks in, and because they're about to like hit him and the little cousin, right? And he's just standing there taking them all on. He's like refusing to hit them because he promised that he wouldn't hit them. And so the way it happens in the anime is that, and then Dawi Han shows up and blocks this baton or some shit. And then knocks them all over, and then they open the door like normal people, right? What happens now is that Dawi Han pushes has his hand on them Jin's back, and then they say we're gonna push through. And then the most Kino fucking shit happens. Dawi Han pushes Jin through the fucking door and it explodes. And it's like the fucking part from Nisekoi during Marika's wedding where they burst through the fucking door like Chads.
Look, they do look fucking Chadly.
It's so cool.
I like how they go from not wearing suit to all of a sudden they're like in suits since they're crashing away.
Because they ripped it off the dudes. It's so cool.
It's pretty goated, I might say.
And then they ruined what happened with Mira, because Mira, she was wearing the wedding dress the entire time, right? Because then the guy with the sword had a JoJo stand for no reason, right? Mm-hmm. You know what this is what she fucking does when she gets ready to fight that dude.
God, she's kind of really hot.
I'm losing my fucking mind. I don't understand why they're making the decisions they're making. It's so fucking frustrating. We don't even find out that when the thing happened that Craftsdwarf thought was funny, right? That was actually super fucking shocking, right? Because right beforehand,
I'm sure it was super emotional, because you have these two friends that you care about, and one of them is just complete. Here he is being a bro and helping her out, and then right after he just beats the shit out of her. Because there's someone else he cares about more, and shit's happening there that they just handle in a minute or two. They just rush through it in the anime.
I don't understand. Every single moment they could do well was done horribly. We were complaining about the fact that she threw away her sword. It's why did she do that? But all of a sudden she didn't care about it. Well, Jin fucking calls her out on that in the manhwa, and then she's like, maybe he was right. Maybe I don't care about it. And then he comes in, instead of just putting his cell phone light on, he rips the fucking hood of a fucking motorcycle light and just pulls that with a battery and shines that on the water. And then fucking Dawi Han shows up with a bunch of other guys to help them find the sword. And it's a super cool friendship moment, because this manga's about friendship, but they can't fucking have that because stupid fucking Mappa wants to adapt this in the fucking worst way possible.
Very sad.
I'm fucking fuming. I'm so mad. Why are they adapting it like this? They have the fucking fundamentals right there. An entire 12 episode anime could be made from just chapter 1. We have the technology to ruin this perfectly good manhwa. Why have this manhwa? Okay, you remember when the Tai Chi guy was fighting, and then for no reason Jin interrupts the fight? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, you said that he has a friendship thing with the Tai Chi guy.
Yeah, he bros out with him before the fight, and then Jin's just watching, and he's waiting for the guy to show that he's not giving up and show that he wants to fight for himself. And then he goes to the announcer dude and goes hey, what happens if one of the fighters interrupts the fight? And then the announcer goes, oh well, he might be disqualified. He's okay, you got a disqualification then, and he jumps in the ring and fights the guy, right? He goes and knows the consequences beforehand. He's not stupid like they portray him in the anime. He's he knows everything going before it. He just doesn't care. It's because it's for his fucking friends, and it's what he wants to do. Because doing what you want to do is a big theme in this fucking story. But they can't fucking have that, because we gotta have the fucking JoJo stands and the magical powers.
Why do you think they did it like this? Why do you think they fuck? Because at this point it's sabotage, right? It has to be, if it's as bad as you say.
Remember when we were talking about how stupid Northern Taekwondo was and how it sounded like evil black magic from the evil North? Mm-hmm. You know all it is in the manhwa? You know all it is? It's just them creating MMA in the North Korea in order to fight back. And then Renewal Taekwondo was their response to them finding out that the North Korea made MMA, basically. And they created Renewal Taekwondo. And that's all it is. It's not evil North Korean bullshit magic. It's literally just they created a fighting style that was super deadly, and they needed to combat it. It's like how fighting styles evolve or something. You know, it's how martial arts evolve. Holy shit! Oh, thank you, Mount. How are we gonna adapt that map? JoJo?
You know what's sad is these last 2 seasons mean that we're never getting a Crunchyroll sponsorship. Because we shit all over their fucking anime.
Maybe
absolutely demolished them.
Maybe Crunchyroll should stop fucking around with these perfectly good webtoons and take them for like what makes them good and stop ruining them, please. Could you stop that? Could you fucking stop, please? I'm so mad. I don't understand why they keep doing this. Look how hot Mira is.
Like compared to Tower of God, like I mean I haven't read the webtoon for either, but it seems like Tower of God still cut out way less at the beginning, and then it like leveled out, and then it's just fine. Where God of High School seems to be just cutting out things constantly to the point like it's like how do you salvage it? You know, like
yeah. Well, I mean to be fair, we are only in 4 episodes in, and by this point in TOG, the anime had already cut out a bunch of shit as well. So maybe God of High School will like kind of do the same, but
the things they cut out are like inherent to like introducing concepts.
And I feel very similar with Tower of God, honestly. I just didn't mauled like you did.
Well, because I don't know. I honestly
probably because I don't like Tower of God as much as you ended up liking God of High School.
Well, I was gonna say, and one difference is like because Vindy you were asking me like, oh, what's the theme of the stuff in episode 1? I figured it out. Like it's made more clear in the original. But it sounds like God of High School is cutting out like so much shit. Like we can't there's not even enough to actually tell what it's about. You know,
right?
So even if Tower of God is executing it less like solidly because of that cut material, or at least in the anime, the God of High School just isn't executing it at all. Like it's no longer like a thing.
They're taking out things. They're just removing it entirely. And it would be one thing if it was just introductions to the concepts, but if you're removing character development and chemistry and relationships, then you can go fuck yourself. Like it's the end, and they're adding shit on top of that. Like remember when Mira did a funny Getsuga Tensho? Guess what didn't fucking happen in the manhwa? Like, it'd be one thing if they just removed things, but now they're adding things that are just objectively worse, and I don't understand why they're doing it. I don't want to talk.
All right, let's talk about ReZero.
Yes. Let's talk about the episode that made me cry.
The best episode this year so far.
Play the OP.
I went off for like the entire time. Let Vindy go off. I'm gonna turn on my light.
Alright, look. In this episode of ReZero, we see a Chad named Subaru, a Chad named Subaru's dad, and a MILF named Subaru's hot mom. All 3 characters, Kino Raw Goat swag. That's the first thing I'm gonna say about it, but okay. I don't know how to like start the discussion other than like I fucking loved it. I think one of the things that was like most obvious, like readily, instantly apparent to me about this episode that I fucking adored was like how
Subaru likes the Astros War.
No, is how instantly
what a hero.
Apparent it was that the fake personality that Subaru was putting on when he first came to like the world that ReZero takes place in was just him acting like his dad. Like, you instantly pick up on that with the way his dad talks about things and the way his dad just is. You realize that, like, when Subaru tries to be a hero and tries to be, like, this really cool guy who everyone would love, he's his dad, which then ties in great with the way the episode continues about, like, the idea that, like, his dad was this guy that everyone loved, and he felt like he was never good enough. He never was that. And he had such a hard time seeing people who didn't just see him as his dad's son, but instead saw him as who he is. And that it was when he finally realized that Rim saw him as himself. And that's why, God, the fucking voice lines they played from Amelia and Rim both in the scene of him kind of like remembering everything was so fucking good. But then like he comes to that realization of like, oh, wow, like, you know, I can be myself. And it's so fucking good. I love it, actually.
This episode hit too close to home. It hit way too close to home than it should have. Like, I was like, just fucking, holy shit. This episode's probably, I think it's just better than episode 18 of season 1.
I think it's very close for me, but I don't know if I could say that it's...
I mean, it didn't make me cry, so...
What? Really?
I'm quitting.
It was good.
Oh my god.
I'm actually surprised because I would say this episode made me cry really hard at one point in one scene, like for multiple reasons, and then I was close to crying at the end of the episode. But because like when he was talking to his dad, God, I started crying after Subaru said his entire spiel about like, you know, who he was, like who, you know, the lesson he came to in season 1 about himself, and then his dad hit him and started talking to him. I started crying, and I cried up through like when he realized that he wouldn't be able to pay his dad back. And so then Subaru starts crying because he realized that like he has to go to the other world and he can't actually, you know, like, what was the line he said? It was something like, I won't be here long enough.
I won't be here long enough to repay you, to make it right to you.
And it was like, God, no, Subaru. Because like when he first comes in the other world, he doesn't care about like, you know, his parents or anything. He wants to be away from them. But now that he realizes like that they actually love him and that they see him as himself and that they, you know, and he wants to be a better person and is a better person, he can't show them that better person. So that's why it's so good that like the only way he can show them is like with the little time he knows he has left before he ends up going back, he goes to school.
See, the part that got me the most, I think, was when like we see the flashback of Subaru like before he got to the other world and he like left home and you know his mother said goodbye and he didn't say anything, and then because like I guess what got me about it specifically was that like, you know, he, even though he fucked up, you know, she still said goodbye again. Like she kept, you know, she didn't like, you know, change or anything, you know, she's still just his mom. And then he finally, you know, said or what, it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this episode hurt me. Like, it hurt me really bad. Like, it was like... So, I don't know. Like, this is, like, a relationship thing that I have, like, personally with my family. Is that when he started saying the thing where it's, like... When like, he started having the thing where it's, like, you're definitely his son. You have no idea how many times I've heard that. I've heard that all my life.
Maybe, I wonder if, like... Well, because you're half Japanese, half Islander, so I wonder if, like, that culture, maybe? Like, because you're closer to... that culture, at least compared to like me, because I've never got, I mean, I also don't live with people who really know my, or you know, like knew my dad growing up or anything, so
I hear it all the time, right? It's like, God. And then when he's like, when he like going up throughout life was like, he couldn't measure up to that idea that he was supposed to be, that thing that he was supposed to be. And as he went through as he went through school, the things that he was the best at slowly kept shrinking. Until eventually he just decided that it was all just so tiresome. And I was like, stop it. Stop doing that.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think of it like that because, geez, okay. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Because you talked about it before, but keep going.
It was like, and then he said that the dad said the thing where it was like, when Subaru was like, I wanted you to kick me out. I wanted you to tell me that I was
my God.
I want you to like tell me that I was like small so that I could slip out of it, because I always found a way to slip out of it. But you never said anything. You treated me like I was the same the entire time, and it made me feel worse.
But you know what I love, honestly, if I'm being honest? And it was exactly what we were talking about last week, where I was like, I wonder, because even from the beginning of the last episode, you could tell that like his dad's a Chad who cares about him, right? And that is definitely true in this episode, right? That his dad's like this giga Chad, uber ripped, and does care about him, right? Yeah. And what I loved was that like someone, like I think it was you, was like, maybe it'll be nuanced and be both. And guess what this episode was?
It was nuanced.
Nuanced. And I actually loved that like Subaru's dad wasn't even wrong. Like his parents weren't even wrong, right? Subaru was the one being a piss chugger and like not fucking listening to them and like being a piece of shit. And they were doing what they thought was right. They were doing what they thought was the best to show Subaru that they cared about him, that they wanted him to grow up to be, you know, happy and successful, and that, you know, it was up to him to do that. And I love that.
And, you know, like, I was fucking bawling the entire time, right? I was like, I couldn't fucking control it. But then the mom made it worse.
Oh my God.
The fucking mom made it worse. Because then, like, he talks to her, right? And he's like, I'm sorry that I was like, you treated me the same the entire time. You know? And it was like, he's like, what was special about today? And she was just like, you know, you mentioned that you're not like your dad. You're not like your dad. But half of you is me. So maybe half of you could... maybe
Ari
half
talked
of
about
you,
earlier with his eyes, right? And how he has his
Yeah.
mom's eyes.
and it was like she says the fucking line. It's like if maybe half of you can reach for that goal to be like your dad, and then maybe the other half of you can just be Natsuki Subaru. And then I fucking lost it. I was like, no.
So you guys, neither of you guys watched Memory Snow, did you?
The one where
I didn't know.
Is that the OVA where they're making the snow people?
It's basically like the date that happens. Like remember during the mansion, Subaru's like, tomorrow we're gonna go on a date, but he'd die every time beforehand because of the Rem and Ron shit. You know, that's what that OVA is, and it's basically just a bunch of really fun, goofy character interactions. But there are some gags involving mayonnaise that are a little different now after, like, because then we find like that specifically because Subaru, he pretended to like it because both of his parents liked it, and
I loved that his mom knew the whole time.
Yes, and I really like the aspect about how the kids, like, they think they're fucking slick. They think their parents don't just fucking know. And so
his mom has that great line. It's like, you know, parents watch their kids more than the kids think they do. It's so good.
Yes,
it's so
yes.
fucking good.
But no, I just because when mayonnaise came up specifically, I was like, hold the fuck up. There were some really dumb jokes in Memory Snow about how Rem, like, she knows that Subaru likes mayonnaise, and like I'm like, wait, hold on. So yeah, it'll be, you guys will get to watch that without with that context in mind, and which I don't know where if it is like a spin-off novel or something, like, I don't know, but it's a sly little fucking detail, because this came out like last year, I think, or very early this year. But anyway, go on.
Another thing that I noticed that I really liked in this episode was, so that conversation he has with his mom, right? The way it was done visually is so good, because at the start, Subaru's walking ahead of his mom, right? He's ahead, she's behind him. Then, once he kind of is okay with the fact that he's walking with her for a little bit, they're walking next to each other. And then it ends with his mom walking forwards ahead of him, like, as the conversation goes. And the way that, like, that was done visually, like, God, it was so fucking good.
You know what?
Good directing in my anime, more likely than you think.
When fucking he saw Amelia, right? When he like realized, like,
Oh.
But then, like, the entire time, his dad keeps asking him, as leading to the conversation, is there a girl that you like? And he keeps, like...
Because his dad could tell the change in him, dude. The change in his fucking face.
And then, like, he fucking, at the end of the conversation he has with his dad, he's like, answering your question before, there is a girl that I love, and another one who I value just as much, or something like that. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck
God,
you.
it's so good. It's so good. And, like, something I loved, this is another little directing thing, but, like, we see him trying to look at Amelia, right? And it's hazy. She's hazy. And we don't see Amelia. We see Amelia through his eyes, is how we know he's back. And that's super good as well.
God. And then the Rem shit, when he shows Rem, is like, but then the mom was like, it was like, sorry, someone else brought this change in me. And she's like, no, I'm sorry, it couldn't be like me or your dad. But if someone else caused this change in you, then I'm grateful to them. And it's like, no, stop it, you piece of shit anime, stop doing this to me, stop hurting me. God, no, yeah, this episode like hit way too close to home, like too far, like too much, and I was like, stop hurting me, you don't need to do this. And like, God, the fact that it ends with Echidna, like, and the Echidna's there, and she's like, so what did you learn by facing your past again? In the school, right? Because I guess that was his first part of the trial. That was his facing his past. And it's like, I wonder if they're going to do anything with Amelia. Though that might also
because we already have her back. Like, because they might not need to, like, show it in detail because they already did in
they already have Frozen Bond.
So,
which is also goaded in Chadley.
So yeah, I'm curious as to how that will, because now essentially, yeah, it's part of the trial. Now I'm like, okay, you know, like, before Subaru was like mostly thinking about himself and like what he wanted and not doing much, you know, like kind of stuck, I suppose, is maybe how that factors into the greed thing. But I don't know. Well, now he's thinking, I don't know, that maybe that's not it. That's not it.
And then we see Cute Witch in a schoolgirl outfit at the end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Knuckles the Echidna.
Knuckles the Echidna. I want to drink Herpy.
God, her name was Knuckles the Echidna.
God.
All right. Do we have any more to say about the episode?
I haven't seen Real Eyes.
There's a lot to say. Like, I love the fact that visually, like, the entire time it has, like, this weird white filter around the outside.
Yeah.
Is great.
It reminded me of the Wide is Right. What? I haven't
have
seen
I said that
Realize It-
Subaru's dad is a Chad enough? Because he is. I love him. He's great.
God.
You know.
I haven't seen Realize in 3 episodes, and I'm very upset.
Look, why the fuck are we on episode 4 and we've only seen it once, and this time we got the ED at the end of the episode? Starting with episode fucking...
It's a fucking 30-minute, like 29.5-minute episode. Just fucking play the OP and make it a fucking 31-minute episode.
I'm getting
Jesus
blue balls.
Christ.
At
I'm
some
getting blue
point in
balls
this
so hard.
show, if like starting next episode, I don't get my OP and my ED at the end. Like, look, ReZero, season fucking 2, you fucking shitter. I know that your Kino is fuck, okay? I know you're insanely goated and that you don't have time for fucking ads or fucking, you know, to not play with my OP. Because I know that you're on such a fucking higher plane of existence that you're like, fuck the OP, fuck the ED. I'm gonna give you episode for 30 minutes straight and you're gonna fucking like it. I appreciate that. I like the episode you're giving me.
I want to see the best opening of the year,
Give
okay?
me the opening. I need to see it.
It's so funny that like we were like, oh yeah, OP is great, but then it's like then they don't fucking like they don't give it
You
to
don't
us.
give it
We're
to us.
mad. Look, here's how good ReZero season 2 is. Legitimately, we are mad that the show is giving us more good stuff instead of other good stuff that we want to see.
This
like
is some big orgasm denial shit right now.
it's
Can you stop?
Do I want 24 episodes of just good television, or do I want to see a minute and 30 good episode for 12 episodes, or good opening for 12 episodes straight? And the answer is I want to see a minute and a half good opening for
we're
12
just
episodes
greedy.
straight.
Maybe we're just
ReZero,
greedy.
where are you?
Maybe this
Is that
maybe
why?
this is already
Is that why they
aggressive.
made the best opening of the year, to make us fucking greedy and want the episode and the show?
Yes.
And then the last
Agreed.
episode,
You're right.
the last episode's gonna be this meta commentary where they just give us the OP the whole time. God, no.
That would be Kino. That would be Uber Kino. That would be like the fucking biggest play of all time.
I'm halting.
It's like I'm so mad because I was like waiting for that opening because I've wanted to see Realize for 2 weeks now, and
I
haven't
want to
seen
see it with the big ass fucking credits in the screen. Give it to me.
I want to see the fucking best opening of the year, no contest, please. Can I have it now? I'm so mad. I just want to see Realize. I just want to see this fucking goated opening.
Do you know how many times I had to watch this fucking opening on YouTube because you won't give it to me?
Do you want to know how many views I've given Crunchyroll highlights?
Crunchyroll collection, excuse you.
What? I don't fucking know or care. They keep fucking up God of High School.
Well, I
so
know
I'm so
because
mad
I
at
have
them.
it up on my fucking computer.
I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad.
All right, it sounds like we're ready to move on.
I'm also mad that the fucking ReZero fans keep commenting on my video but telling me to pay for not liking it the first time. And it's like, what can I fucking do, man?
I guess, we got to give season 2 a 10, which
You know
I know
what?
you said it's close, and
It's-
I mean, look, I'm
one-
one episode close to that quality away from giving it a 10, dog.
It's
like,
one episode of crying away from doing that. If it makes me cry next episode, I'm giving it a 10. There's no contest.
or with how the season ends, if it ends
Oh, yeah,
on
no.
some Chadley King shit, I can't handle it.
If
I
it
might have to
blue
give
balls me-
both half of season 2 a 10 as well. That's something to think about as well, because season 2, it's technically this season
Yeah.
and then break and then another part, but they're both technically season 2, so.
If it blue balls me again, then I'm gonna keep it at a 9 until the second.
If you
half
don't
of
see the
season.
opening ever again, it's a 9 because.
It's a 9.
Imagine calling that the opening when they play it once in the whole show.
And they played it as a fucking ending.
It's really just ending one, isn't it?
This show has 2 endings and no openings. I'm balding.
What a big brain play, honestly. It's deconstruction. Holy shit.
ReZero, was it? You have to apologize to all your commenters now. It was a deconstruction.
I guess so. I also gotta apologize to them because I made fun of them because they're actually stupid. What?
Well, that's
Insane.
ReZero fans. Anyway, move on
No.
to other stupid fans. Oregairu? Yes.
Oh my god. We're
Play
gonna
that
talk about
opening.
I Cried the episode again.
Play the opening.
流れきった餅の後一人続きを待った
Craftsdwarf, you said this episode is good, and that's it. I'm not gonna be happy, man.
We're
What's
gonna
up,
shoot
what?
you. I'm gonna shoot Craftsdwarf because he's called GOAT best episode of the year good, and so if he calls this one just good,
Fine.
Fine. It was okay. It was good.
God, your Craftsdwarf impression was so good for a second, I thought you were him. I almost started screaming.
Well, he took the words out of my mouth, so.
But Craftsdwarf, there was so much Kino this episode.
Sad.
I'm gonna fucking kill a child. I'm gonna kill a small child.
There were so many things I loved this episode. What? How'd you
Hey.
feel about this episode?
I thought it was very good, especially. Okay, you know what? I actually unironically started like losing my shit, like laughing out loud, and like when Hachiman was in front of the fucking coffee machine. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
When
like,
he made the pose with the fucking fingers, and he's like,
no, he said yay, and I fucking lost it. I was like,
He's such a Chad. I love Hachiman so much.
And that's when Yui
dude.
like goes in, and she's like, oh,
she's like,
God, I want to stick.
My turn for a photo. My turn for a photo. And he's like, huh? It's like it's
But
so
Hachiman doesn't have any character development because he's been rewarded for his actions.
Shut up! Craftsdwarf.
Look, it's so cool how this season he's been nothing but chill, and like the fact that he's like cool, chill enough now to where the first time I've ever seen him go in front of a fucking thing and take selfies with it, like a million of them, going yay.
Well, and then like she took a picture with him, and he's like, okay. Like, you know, if you look at, like, the Season 2 OVA, when Iroha takes the picture with him, he is, like, does not want to take that picture. He is, like, back off. I have not taken a selfie. And with Yui, he says, he fucking asks her to send him the picture. He's like,
And then he
"Send
says,
that to
okay,
me?"
I'm done here. I don't need anything else. I got that. Like,
He's
he's
so
satisfied.
It's so fucking Chadley, right? And then they go to Ike. Go to Ike.
I heard you.
Why is it called Ike?
Why do they call it McDonald's? Shut the fuck up.
It was like, I was just looking at that. It took me a bit, and I was like, does that say Ike? Does that should say Ike? They go to IKEA. You're gonna get that Swedish furniture. They went to
I would love to see an episode of Hachiman and Yui trying to build IKEA furniture together.
It's not that hard, Vindy.
No, I don't think it's
That
hard.
would actually make the show 10 out of 10.
Look, I don't think building IKEA furniture is hard. But here's the problem. If you have two people trying to work together who are not on the same page, it gets frustrating. It is actually a terrible experience. Like, you
like,
have to...
Hand me the L piece. They're like, what? And they give you T, and it's like, stop?
Bitch, how is this an L? It doesn't go from the other side. Are you stupid? You're like, hand me the Allen wrench. And if they're a girl, they go, what's an Allen wrench? And it's like,
God.
okay, well, I can't do this.
It's the L that came with the thing. You don't need a drill. You only need a screwdriver and the thing that came with the box.
I have, like, a small list of people I would build IKEA furniture with. Like, that is... Dude.
You know what
I would build IKEA furniture with less people than I would, like, sleep with. Like...
Vindy, you know what my list includes?
What?
Me.
Only you? Dude,
Only
but
me.
if you're building the big furniture, you need another person.
It literally takes me like 20 minutes.
Right, for a small thing. But, like, I had to build, like, my sister has, like, these big-ass IKEA wardrobes. That took 3 people.
It shouldn't take 3 people for something like
When
that.
the thing is, like, twice my height, and I'm, like, fucking... Well, it wasn't twice my height, but, like, it was, like, 9... Like,
I was about to
it
say,
was
you're
so...
fucking tall.
It was
twice
like-
what's height?
It was just so big that, like, you have to have someone else hold it. Like, you have to have one person hold it and one screw it.
What left, and then it came back.
Anyway, IKEA. I'm waiting for the Oregairu OVA of IKEA building. That'd be fucking kino. We should have a Weeb Club IKEA building stream.
I would actually do that. That would be so fun.
At fucking Anime Expo, we build a fucking table and then just...
There are, I know there are, like, games you can buy that are essentially, like, building IKEA furniture.
That sounds terrible and awful, and actually I don't want to
do
do
it.
that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. No, never
I thought the
mind.
joke
No,
was
no,
gonna
no,
be
no.
like, that sounds terrible and awful, let's do it. You're fucking weak, coward, bitch.
No, I can't. There's lines I draw. That was one of them.
Sad.
Well, anyway, this episode good in Kino, and look, you know how like they established the fact that Yukino's mom is terrible and scary because she smiles and then says some shit that she's like she pretends like she is listening to what you're saying, but actually doesn't give a fuck and just like only smiling for courtesy. And then when Haruno says some shit, and then she looks up and sees Yukino smiling kind of like the same way, it was like, oh shit, oh no, oh no, oh fuck, oh shit, oh god. That hurt. That part was like, oh no, stop it, Oregairu. And then she's like actually breaking down this episode. Like she was actually breaking down, like begging Hachiman's like, please, don't help me. I want to do this myself. Right? And that, like, this entire episode is like building on the idea. Like I like how like Hachiman like says like, oh, the relationship we have it's a love triangle, right? And
Oh my god, I love the fact that he will actually like say that out loud now. Like he can actually kind of admit on some level that he understands that both of them like him, right? Like he's at that point where he's like, look, I know that this is what's going on, but I still want to ignore it. It's good.
Hold on. I'm looking for something that'll.
It's
make
character
you upset.
development.
I'm looking for something that'll be very ironic right now. Hold on. You better put you better put like the, like Craftsdwarf better put like the you know.
Why?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
My
Look,
teen romantic comedy
I
isn't
have a
about
film
romance. I have a film degree.
No, but like I don't know. I you know, very good. I fucking God.
But then like Haruno calls the relationship codependence, and it's like, and she's about to say it again during that earlier part, right? And then finally, like at the end of the episode, when like the teacher's calling, it's like, please put into words why you're doing this. Why do you want to do it? And then he goes, because I promised Yukino I'd save her.
Dude, so fucking good. I just love the teacher. I love the moment where she's like, hey, what did she say to him? It's something like, I can't understand you when you clam up on the phone. Like, the way she just calls him out is so fucking good. I actually love it.
Like, but you know what's great? Is what happens after that.
Yeah.
Because Yui the entire time is trying to hang out with him, and then he chooses Yukino over her again. And then she starts fucking crying, and then she hides.
Well, I love that. Yeah, what she says is that like,
if I kept crying, he would have stayed here. And thinking back, I wish I kept crying.
Yeah, and because at first she's like, I'm glad I didn't keep crying because then he would have stayed here. And then she's like, no, that's wrong. I wish I had kept crying. It's so fucking good.
Because she knew that if she started crying, Hachiman would have stayed. Because he's just a fucking...
He's a fucking... actually genuinely good guy, and I love it.
He's a fucking hero.
Yeah, they're trying to like push away from each other, but they also still need each other. Like it's like they're trying to fight their codependence, but also like they kind of need it too. So, yeah.
Well,
it's like,
I also love like a small thing is like Hachiman waits to make sure she's gone before he takes off running because he's being considerate of her feelings, and he doesn't want her to see him, running off after someone. So he does wait
a girl that's not her. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So he waits until he knows she's gone to actually start sprinting off, which is, I think, really like a really nice touch that I really like.
God, it's kind of crazy how an actually subtle show goes over people's heads, right? Like this show's actually.
No. What are some?
Yeah, because like it doesn't make that point known that like, oh yeah, look, Hachiman waited.
It's not like Hunter x Hunter. It doesn't spoon feed you.
Whoa. Whoa.
I love Craftsdwarf, dude.
I have actually made an observation that like a lot of anime that people call like deep and subtle, and then you watch it and you're like, the show's literally telling me what the point is, like in dialogue. Meanwhile, like Oregairu is just like doing little things where it's choosing to have the characters like body language show the behavior instead of just like outright saying.
No, but Oregairu
everything.
doesn't tell you anything visually, dude. It's an
Doesn't.
anime,
It
and
has
as
never
someone who
done
cares
it.
more
The
about
visual style
storytelling-
contradicts the
Unlike
information
other
in the
people, the reason why it's bad is because unlike everyone else, my visual art, like visual understanding.
I
of
care
media,
more about visual storytelling.
You just
Never mind
don't
the fact
care about
that
visual
I've-
storytelling.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
You peons with smaller brains than me don't understand visual storytelling, unlike me.
Even though like we've all brought up in this episode multiple times that like there's been good visual storytelling in the episodes we watched.
It's so good. How the fuck? I'm losing it. IKEA. It's
Look, I don't know. It's so good. I fucking loved this episode of Oregairu. It was Kino. I don't know.
I love this fucking show, man. It's like, look, did you realize?
Crazy how we're watching two at minimum 9 out of 10s at the same time.
It's kind of crazy how like Oregairu's ending of the entire story is literally just a bunch of cool Zoomers fighting against the Karens for the right to have a prom.
You're so right.
Like that's how it ends. It's just fuck Karens. I want my prom. That's how it ends.
Oh yeah, I liked when Hachiman saw the pictures and he's just like, I'm embarrassed and want to die. That was funny.
I like how he's like, I don't think it's a good idea to show me the pictures because I'll reject all of them.
Chad.
And then like he called them, I was like, yeah, it's probably just a bunch of people who are like flirting and it's like really shameless. And then he sees himself, he's like, never mind. I'm not allowed to talk anymore. God. And now is there anything else to say before I just not say anything?
Oh, can we talk about like the least interesting show? It's like not the worst show,
but the least interesting to talk about. Yeah,
I like this show a lot.
It's just
it's fine.
I like this show. It's good.
Play the opening too. Whatever.
First of all, Mizuhiro is fucking hot, and if
She
someone
is.
were to look me in the eyes and tell me that she's not, you'd be a fucking liar, and I
No,
don't
you'd be
stand for
stupid.
liars on my podcast.
And she's hotter when she has her glasses and braids.
I
on, so,
agree.
like,
Her personality is also hotter when she's her real self, and she would yell at me and call me names and maybe hit me, but that's besides the point.
No, because when she's acting like the fake girlfriend, I don't like fake people just in general. I can like immediately spot when they're acting fake. So like when she acts like that, immediately I'm just like,
I
this
also
bitch
just
is
don't
lying.
like that personality type. I think it's boring.
I think it's fake and it's not real. So like I
Yeah,
just kind of
no, I know, but like even if someone were actually like that, I think it's just fucking boring to act like that. I
Other
want
than-
someone with a little bit of spice, you know, like what the
Yeah.
what? He's a little fucking.
So I only have one thing to say about this entire episode. There we go.
Look, there were some moments in this episode I really liked. I really liked the way that like you can already, I don't know. I like the way like that the main guy and Mizuhiro are both stupid because like you can tell just from like looking at him that like they clearly both already like kind of have feelings for the other one and they're just stupid about it. I think it's fun. I don't know. I enjoyed this episode. I think it was probably I don't say worst episode because that implies negative thoughts. I think it was like
the least interesting one.
the least good episode so far. But I'm excited with the way that this episode ended for what comes next. I still think it's interesting that next episode is 4, and there's still 2 girls in the opening we haven't met yet. Clearly, neither of them are going to matter as much, but they are in the opening, so they matter somewhat.
Yeah. And like why is the one really embarrassed all the time? Like what is her deal? And then the other one just, she's just got a bow.
She's
I
the
don't-
girl from
what's her
Black
deal?
Clover. What's her name?
I haven't read Black Clover.
I know,
What the
but
fuck?
what gets that one?
I'm sorry, I've tuned out because we're talking.
Any truers? Oh, okay.
We're talking about fucking a show.
No, I mean, I thought it was a fun episode. It just, I don't know.
I just got a really funny comment. I'm screen capping it because
You're
it's so
fine.
funny.
Like,
Yeah,
I enjoyed this episode, and like that's the thing about like this show compared to some of the other, like even like a show like Koisu Asteroid, I thought was like enjoyable, but this show I'm like I guess more invested in already. This one like we're like, because we watched other shows that I think are just like less interesting or less good, but this show at least like I'm really curious to see how it plays out and like what the ways because it's obvious like what it'll end on, at least the manga, right? I don't know if the show will probably not get there, but like I'm curious to see how it gets there,
Yeah. Cause like now there's like the interplay between like Chizuru's different like
Poor Goku Black-kun, dude. Respond and say if it's your favorite anime, why aren't you named after it? Can you do that one for me?
If it's your favorite anime, why?
Because like I know Goku Black is not his favorite character. Okay.
Named after it. I don't remember.
Why would you say something
Goku
like that?
Black
What do you mean?
Vindy?
in Bleach.
One Piece is my favorite manga, but I like it more than you.
What? Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay. Fuck you. Yeah, I don't know why he's trying to big league what's love for for fucking.
Oh, I thought he was saying it like he likes Bleach more than he likes What the What.
No, he's saying he likes Bleach more than what likes Bleach. He's big leaguing what in terms of who likes Bleach more.
Hold on. Here.
God, you like a fucking manga more than me? That's a little sad. I'm a little hurt by that.
Hey.
I mean, I do actually like One Piece more than you like One Piece, if that's where we're going. But that wasn't.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Like, imagine if I made a One Piece video and you just comment with,
Yeah, that's a.
"I like One Piece more than you." Like, okay.
Look at my reply.
Thank you. I'm glad you did what I needed.
Okay, go ahead and keep talking about Rent a Girlfriend because I have nothing else to say because it was just like the most.
I enjoy it.
I
That's
just
most
really,
what I have, I think.
I just really want like how like in the end of part 5, Diavolo goes through like different types of death. Like he dies multiple different ways and he can't escape the cycle of death and just keeps dying over and over again. You know that? Remember that?
You want that to happen to this blonde girl? Me fucking too, dude.
Yes,
She's actually a terrible fucking person. I fucking can't stand her,
she's
dude.
terrible. And like, well, like it was funny when she saw Chizuru's
not
tits,
even that hot.
and she like zips up her shirt because she's like, wow, I have smaller tits. And I also like, I just thought it was interesting because Kazuya has now met like her real self in a context like her friends know like that they've met, but they had to pretend So now her actual real self has become a little bit more fake.
Right, because she has to continue to post this
She has to pretend that she doesn't know him because she does know him, but it's weird. It's interesting, and
God,
maybe they'll do more with that.
She's so fucking cute when she's in her glasses form and she sees him, and at both times the way she's fucking blushed and been like a little mad but a little embarrassed at the same time. Like, God, whew, you know, like, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, fucking good. I love anime.
All right, sounds like we're about
You know
done.
what, Vindy? I think I like Rent-A-Girlfriend more than you.
I don't know if that's true, but
Yeah, it's definitely not true, but yeah.
all right, yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm curious, what do you guys have it at rating?
Rent a Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Right
5 or
now-
6, probably.
Oh, what do you have it at?
5-5. 1, 2, ready, go.
Oh no. Okay, I don't want to say anymore.
What did you have it at, dude?
I
7.
don't want to say anymore.
Say
Yeah,
it.
like a light 7, strong 8. Or no, sorry, I'm other way.
That's
Other
a-
way. I'm sorry, other way.
All right.
Strong 7, light 8. I apologize.
okay.
Craftsdwarf, 5-5. 1, 2, 3, go.
Look, I'm really enjoying this show. I like every episode. I'm like literally
left me
this
hanging.
season,
I
every
did,
show
it didn't register.
except for God of High School. Well, no, I'm excited to watch every show this season. 3 of them are because I legitimately really enjoy them and I want to watch the next episode, and then one of them is because it's God of High School, and I can't wait to see how bad it is.
This is gonna be the first one. God of High School is gonna be the first 1 out of 10 that I've ever given on the Weeb Club, like in terms of like the seasonals.
Oh,
I was
I
gonna say,
because
'cause you gave-
for
you
sure.
should-
But
well,
I haven't
I
read,
think-
read it, so
That's the thing is that I was wondering because like I don't think What was gonna give it a 1 until he read it, and now that he knows how bad this anime is, he's
How badly it's like you know, shitting on the source is just, you know, layers and layers of just anger seething out my veins. Can't take it anymore.
all right, we got to talk about some bananas. So
God of
thank you
High School
for
is, I
listening.
like God of High School more than you. It's my favorite anime. Alright, thanks guys for watching.
adios.
Cock and ball torture.